just hover like a holy ghost above my chaos, the place I inhabit most. It sort of unintentionally, haphazardly came about. We've, of course, always been friends, stayed friends, all that. And then when your sisters had a baby,
yeah,
and the plan was Jamie would come over and visit. Obviously, COVID slowed that whole thing down, and I think it actually started as a bit of a sort of joke to be like, oh, like imagine if we did a 10-year reunion thing when Jamie's over, and then that sort of snowballed into here we are, and have like released a couple of new songs, got together, and obviously we've got this show coming up on the 29th. So that's pretty much that. It's quite serendipitous, to be honest.
Yeah, the two tracks, Drowning and Hover, definitely bounce off Shade's direction. I think we've taken some really cool elements from the album, especially the lead guitar, and I'd say so the drums as well. And it's just been a natural progression. Like the five of us who recorded the album are the same five guys who recorded the new track, so of course, and they just naturally came. Like we didn't have to force anything with the writing process. So I've been quite happy with the outcome, and I guess we all went away and did our own parts and just brought it all together, so it's been a good progression. Technology's just advanced so much.
Mate.
So I reckon, well, WhatsApp was the main thing that we used, and time zones were a bit tricky, but I didn't feel bad pinging messages when it's your sort of 3 a.m. But yeah, WhatsApp helped a lot, and we were able to chuck the audio on there and sort of refresh things and just bounce ideas.
I think like what you said is key, because when we recorded the album, and obviously the EP before that, when we were like late teens, early 20s, in the sort of early to mid 2000s, there was just no, like, streaming wasn't a thing. Like, I remember the first time I saw an iPhone was that guy in Belgium when we were on tour. So like technology's changed. That makes me feel so old to say things like that, but technology has changed so much, and the things that it's possible to do now just made it actually a totally plausible process that Jamie could be in Melbourne and we could be in the northeast of England and just be sending parts over the internet.
Yeah, and like I recorded the bass in Melbourne, like we did the guitars at Mark's house, and then we did the drums and vocals in the studio at iHeart with George. So it just worked.
Yeah. I've had a lot of fun.
It's been amazing. I think I've said this before, that if this had happened a few years ago, I don't think it would have been the right time. I think it found us just right at the right moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone went through terrible times because of the pandemic and all of that, but it did sort of allow everyone to slow down and reconnect, and that's what happened here.
Yeah, I that's a really good point. That had this, it would have felt somewhat forced maybe if it was, I like how you said it found us, because I think that that's very true. Like it just all sort of things aligned, and it just felt like the right time and all of that, and just being able to reconnect.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
It's been amazing. I would say probably that, the connection aspect of it. So like obviously it's been great to be playing music again, and like people have, I don't know if people have asked you this over the years, but like people go, oh, do you miss it? And there's like, I don't miss being like having no money and being in a foreign country and having to eat ham and crisp sandwiches. Like, but I do miss the playing music, being creative with your friends and stuff. And so that part of it, without the pressure of touring and all that, has been really good, and just being able to reconnect as friends again.
Yeah, you've summed it up perfectly there. I mean, I just think that we owed it to ourselves to put out a little bit more music, because we recorded one album and a couple of EPs, and that was fantastic, but it was a long time ago, and we could have kept going, you know, but life got in the way, and we don't regret anything. I think we just needed this for ourselves to just get it out there and see what we could do. It's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes, the show is going to be awesome. It's in our hometown, you know, and we can't wait to play it in Newcastle. It's a really cool venue. We wanted to just play like a small, intimate venue that just has a really good sound system and whatnot. So the gig is going to be awesome. The response has been great, and you know, so many people have already bought tickets. And if you haven't already, please do come, because it does mean a lot. And I think it's not just for us to play. I think it's for everyone. You know, a lot of these tracks people have been listening to, which is quite surreal. And like Reenact, which is such an older song, everyone just absolutely loves it. But what, have you got anything on the show?
Yeah, no, I think, again, you said it really well. I think that on the odd occasion when I've gone to shows or watch bands and stuff, and like still people will come up and like go, oh, I used to come watch the Casino Brawl like years ago. And it's just, it feels like it's a very nostalgic like moment, I think. And
yeah.
It's like, it'll be like a great show, but I think for all of us who maybe like came into sentience in that time of like that, when that alternative music scene and stuff like that, it's just almost like a night for everyone to just feel a bit young again and like just have a great time. Obviously there's some great new bands who we've been able to get to play as well, so just, yeah, I think it'll be class.
And then what's next? Like, honestly, who knows? I think we've pushed hard to just reconnect and get the tracks recorded and work on those, and then obviously set the gig up. We're not really looking too far into the future. You know, I think if it was up to me personally, I would like to, you know, write a little bit more music, but it depends what everyone wants to do, and we've got to respect that. If we had to walk away tomorrow, we've written 2 cool songs, we've, you know, playing a gig, and that's a really, really nice way to, you know, just end things, but who knows?
Yeah, we're just trying to enjoy it for what it is, and whatever happens after, we'll see. Our minds are open, hearts are open, but we're not putting any pressure on ourselves to like, to say, oh, we're doing this or that. This has sort of fallen together so nicely, and we've seen that it's possible, and so if it,
yeah,
you know, if it works out in the future to do more stuff, cool, but we'll see.
Awesome.